Hello everyone, and welcome to the game of World of Warships. Now look at that, there are plates. It's one of my battles. I'm in the Shimakaze. It's tier 11 with a carrier and a sub, and it's Airship Escort. Now I picked this battle replay here because I want to talk a little bit about Airship Escort, and I mean, you know, the state of play in this game is pretty horrific these days anyway. But Airship Escort is in some ways not really that complicated. You wanna escort an airship. Now, being here on the left flank in the Shimakaze puts me in a bit of an awkward spot, because on the one hand you might thinking, right, why I'm not spotting like this left flank, as one usually would in most game modes. The problem is, the airship's obviously moving here towards the right side. If I'm here around on the left, I'm basically taking myself out of the game in a bit, because the airship is going to leave and it's very hard to catch up unless it's slowed down quite a bit. Also, at first I was the only one spawning inside the circle, so I couldn't leave it immediately, because you definitely don't want to give up some progress for free early on. So I needed for somebody else to come in here, which the Petro did at a point, but it might just leave again. So I'm the one who is pushing this along. If I were scouting left, I could scout the Patri. But the Patri is doing a good job of taking itself out of the game anyway. When you look at the islands here, right, by pushing the airship in, there's very little chance for the Patri to actually influence anything. And obviously there are the planes again, there's a radar again. Right now I need to make use of the islands to stay alive. Like, this is a tough spot in a way for Shimakaze, because the enemy can so easily creep up with radar. The good news, obviously, is all the islands give me some protection. And my torpedoes are a very big threat, because the enemy has to come through here, right? So it's... and our team took care of the Moine. That's pretty amazing. Right, so you gotta push your airship through this. So you're kind of forced into this area, which makes the torpedoes a very, very viable threat. It's just a very... risky thing here in the center, but with potentially great rewards. And you can't just ignore it. And the enemy team is showing what happens if you just don't fight for your airship, I guess. So meanwhile, the Patri is still being useless. Like, if you go here on the left side, right, the only ships you can shoot are those that are mispositioned. And thanks to the island, once the airship is past this point here, the massive island will protect the airship's future course. Like, the Patri needs to push all the way into the south, down to the H line, until it can actually be kinda useful again, and then it's probably long range shooting. If the Patri had pushed here into the center, it would have been much more useful. Now on the right side, that's good that we have ships there, right? You kind of want to secure the area where you arrive in. Meanwhile, I'm busy here, like, delaying the enemy, and, well, I'm no longer pushing our Zeppelin, because I'm getting distracted by this Kunming. Now, I do have some fish on the way. I do have a smoke screen ready if I need it, and right now I'm just shooting it. But I think my torps will do the trick. And, well, with some shells as well. So there we go. Now, this Kunming had no real help. Meanwhile, our Zeppelin is already past this point and is in the waiting hands of, like, the Yamagiri that now keeps pushing it. Now I have two options. Well, I'm also launching some torps against the Eagle. It's currently out of range. Maybe it comes closer, probably not. I could just go after the Eagle, but once again, if I make that choice, I'm taking myself out of the game, right? Catching up to the Zeppelins is going to be hard unless nobody's actually pushing them and everybody ignores the objectives, and they're just very slow. But generally speaking, it's hard to catch up again. So taking out the carrier is obviously a good thing, because the carrier can strike anywhere and it can spot whatever is inside the airship circle. But I don't think it's worth it here for me to do this. It looks like my Yamagiri and my sub are actually going to do this, which is a bit of a shame. But I can always understand the desire to hunt the carrier. Meanwhile, see how the enemy patrouille, it might have shots on some of those ships, but it's so far away, and the Zeppelin that we have is already so far ahead that the enemy team really dropped the ball on this, right? They have absolutely nobody close to their ship. We are still delaying it. I could have, by the way, stayed on the other side and kept delaying it. Might not have been the worst decision. But I've decided I'll take the safe path and I stick here and I push ours instead. Because it's not like anybody's pushing ours, so... Meanwhile, our gearing seems to be waiting to intercept the Zeppelin. So we're actually having some teamwork going on here, right? I've decided to push ours and the gearing is gonna delay the enemy. We have some ships who are just wanting to sink a carrier. And I mean, overall we are doing well on ships. But mostly what's a very deciding factor here is we're doing so well on the Zeppelin, right? Now we just lost the daring, and the enemy is kinda now guarding the arrival area. There is unfortunately still a sub around here somewhere. And there's a lot of fish. Now I'm just gonna get the Zeppelin closer, right? If there wasn't an objective, I would be probably a little bit more forward trying to spot those destroyers. But, well, there is an Ohio coming in here. If the Ohio were to push here, I could be a bit more free with my movement. We shall see. Now, unfortunately, there is a sub somewhere here and I can't do anything about it. I'm not sure, it might be that my RPF is pointing towards that sub. Now there is a smoke coming in front of me, and I'm checking here, you can see, right, the distance to see if it's in torpedo range. Like, you can see here, by the way, the distance towards your mouse cursor, so you can, like, aim at a spot in the water, like inside a smoke screen, and then check how far away that is, because otherwise it's hard to judge. And I've made sure that the smoke screen is inside my torpedo range, and now I've unleashed some fish. Of course, I might be spotting something else before that happens. My torpedoes against the Montana are unfortunately gonna run out. So I might be lucky and hit the destroyer or something, but I won't have the reach to hit the Montana. Now we are getting close. And there we are. Oh god. I found the sub. I found one destroyer, and we know the second destroyer is inside the smoke screen. I don't think it's gonna eat a fish. I am unfortunately pinged, so I'm trying to get rid of the ping. I'm dodging those fish. And I just re-pinged again. Now I'm dead because I can't dodge those torps, right? Especially with the movement that I'm currently doing. Now I'm still shooting the Haaland. I'm actually concealed, but it doesn't help because I can't, like, there is no way for me to dodge the torps from this position. So the best I can do is hope to take this Shima with me, and that worked. But nothing I can do against the sub. So I got taken out by Balance. A frustrating end, but I've put us into a very good position here because, you know, ship-wise it's not actually that decisive, but our gearing is still delaying their Zeppelin, and when you look here, like, at the time, it takes us 3 minutes and 40 seconds and them 18 minutes. Now the enemy sub could still try to delay ours. Well, it is, right? It is delaying ours. Now it was forced to dive by the planes, and now we are speeding up again. I mean, the sub's now alone. We are winning this on ships as well, but the enemy just never really had a chance after they ignored the objective so hard. So, yeah. And, well, a battleship just got taken out by a sub without any counterplay. Because, you know, that's just how this game goes these days. So yeah, this is Airship Escort, and I did very little damage, but all of my damage was against destroyers, which is why I'm top at the scoreboard, right? Because it depends, your experience depends on the percentage you take off the enemy's health and not the actual damage done, and because I only shot low health targets, like destroyers, I was rewarded by this. So yeah, there we go. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you next time.